Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Rune Knight build guide in Baldur's Gate 3, level 20. This is a mod made by Sumradagnoth here for the 5e Fighter subclass combined, or 5th edition's Dungeons & Dragons. So it features a bunch of different subclasses, and in this one I'll be focusing on the Rune Knight, which allows you to scribe runes and get a variety of different effects. The fighter itself is just strong as is. We get ourselves the second wind bonus action for healing, and we get to pick a fighting style, with defense being one of the most beneficial, giving us a +1 to armor class. You can go with others if you prefer, but higher armor class just typically ends up working a little bit better. And for our ability scores, we're going to be heavily based on strength, dexterity, as well as our constitution. So something like 16 strength, 14 dexterity, and 16 constitution can work well. Although you can swap it around and go 16 in your other stats as well if you want a bit higher initiative. So I'll also be showing off the gear options that we can go with, as well as I'm using modded gear for this, but I'll show you and I'll play with the base game versions. Now, when we level up, we get ourselves Action Surge. Obviously, it's one of the most beneficial abilities of the fighter. Once we get to level 3, we get to pick the Rune Knight itself. So, Rune Knights enhance their martial prowess by using supernatural powers of runes, an ancient practice that originates with giants. First subclass features, we get the Giant's Might, so we learn how to imbue themselves with the power of the giants. And we get proficiency in sleight of hand and can use magical runes to enhance your abilities. With actions, inscribe rune. So this is basically we use a magical rune to enhance our abilities, and we get to choose our runic magic. So there's the Rune of Cloud, which gives us advantage on sleight of hand and deception checks. And then we also get ourselves the Frost Rune, which gives advantage on animal handling and intimidation. The Fire Rune, which gives expertise in sleight of hand checks. And then the Scribe the Stone Rune, which gives insight and dark vision. So I'm going to go with the fire and the stone first, just to show these off. And you can get as many of these as you can whenever we level up. I'll show you that. And for our feat, I think it's best to go with an increase to our overall dexterity or strength. I'm using a strength potion, so that's going to obviously buff up our strength. So to show off the maximum effectiveness, I'll show off the dexterity boost. There's a few different things we can take for feats. But at level 5, we get ourselves an extra attack. Obviously, nice power spike there at level 5 for all classes. And then for our next feat, I like to take Alert, or also the Savage Attacker. What's nice about Savage Attacker is you can reroll your damage die twice, giving yourself higher damage overall. Level 7, we get the Runic Shield, so you can use your reaction to force an attacker to reroll an attack roll made against one of your allies, which is really nice, keeping them safe. And we get to take 2 new different runes here, with the Hill Rune giving advantage to saving throws against being poisoned and resistance to poison damage, and the Storm Rune, which gives advantage on Arcana checks and immunity to being surprised. I'm going to go with the Poison one there. Now, there's a few different benefits to these, which I'll cover as well. For our next feat, I think it's good to go with the, actually, if we're using a two-handed weapon, Great Weapon Master is a good choice too, because this will give us a bonus action attack, and it'll give us a +10 to attack damage, but a -5 to attack rolls, which can be toggled off if you find you're not being very accurate. Indomitable at level 9, we'll get higher levels of this as we have the level 20 mod installed. Level 10, Great Stature. The magic of your runes has permanently altered your height, making your character even taller, and we can make them even taller, which is going to be pretty crazy. We'll take ourselves the Storm Rune there and go on to our next level. At level 11, we get ourselves that improved extra attack, but that's not all. You'll see, we'll get a very big power spike as we continue up. For our next feat, there's a couple of really good ones. We can also go with I guess Tavern Brawler if we want to go full on throw with Nirolna. We can also take up the dexterity to 20 here, and so that's just going to be a nice choice as well. Level 13, we get Indomitable 2, enhanced version of Indomitable, and we'll get Indomitable 3 too. Here we got our dexterity all the way max, or your strength, whichever of those you're going for. Taking the Alert feat for the +5 to initiative can also be really good. For level 15, we get the Master of the Runes. You can invoke each rune you know from the Rune Carver feature twice rather than once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a short or long rest. And then we get to pick another rune here, so we'll take the Frost Rune and go on to our next level. At level 16, we get ourselves another feat here, and Heavy Armor Master can be a decent one if you want to increase your defense abilities. You could also go, if you want to go Crossbow Expert and do some close range crossbow attacks. The Athlete perk's also pretty decent. You can also use an ability score improvement, take up Constitution or Dexterity. Yeah, you got a lot of options here. So you could even go down to like the Sharpshooter if you want to enhance your bow attacks. Tough will give you an increase of 2 health points for every level you gain, which will give us a nice 40 extra health. So that can actually be really good if you want to be very tanky. Just really depends what you're going for here, but we'll go with that there just for survivability's sake. And then at level 17, we get Indomitable 3 there. And then finally, we get ourselves the Runic Juggernaut, grow in size, become even stronger. So you can use this number of feature equal to your proficiency bonus you regain. I'll expend a use of it when you finish a long rest. Making yourself big. It's pretty funny. Level 19, we get our final feat here. And you can also go with like I guess the charger is not a bad one because it will give us the charge attacks. Since we get so many feats, we may as well take advantage of some of the ones we don't typically take. And at level 20, we get the extra attack 3, so we can do 4 attacks per action, which is really strong. Now, what this ends up boiling down to is we want to be using our runes, so we can inscribe runes, and with these, you get a variety of effects. So we'll go with the Storm Rune here, and then once you pop that, you get the Invoke Storm Rune, which will give user reaction, apply advantage or disadvantage to a target's attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. So invoking the runes will give us these benefits that last for a variety of turns here. So I guess I'll show off the gear as well that we want to be rolling with. I'm just using a mod right now for different gear. This is the Big Dang Paladin mod. But the armor persistence is probably going to be the most beneficial armor that we can go with. Armor of Agility 2 is pretty nice because we have such a high armor class. We can actually go with this and be a little bit stealthy. So that can be a good option there. And then also for the cloak protection, I like the Legacy of the Master for +2 attack and damage rolls, so that we're more likely to hit with our weapons. Evasive Shoes, Ring of Protection, Killer Sweetheart for that free crit, Emulate a greater health. And then for the helmet, you can go with the Helm of Baldur, which will give us a 20 or 8 armor class, can be critical hit or stunned, and heals us every turn. And I also have the Sword of Chaos here, but if you really want to go all in on the large size, we can add in the Baldur Giant Slayer, as that gets pretty crazy. And I'm also using the Hellrider Longbow, so I'll show off what this looks like in combat. And with our increase to the health, we have 284 health, which is just crazy. But I'll be showing off, I guess, all the runes here. So sometimes they do have some issues with stacking. Gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage with the hill rune, so it'll give us a nice buff defensively. And you also got the stone rune here, so I guess I put it in turn base so that we don't lose our abilities. And then inscribing the frost rune will give us another one that we can activate, giving us a +2 bonus to ability checks or saving throws that require strength or constitution. So we're sturdy now. We got all that added up. And then we can add into ourselves. I like to also add haste because obviously haste is really strong too. So I'll haste ourselves, leave turn-based mode, and then we'll get into combat so you guys can see what that's all about. Now we got the Runic Juggernaut here, which will increase our size, so we can use that to make ourselves even larger. And with this, we can also then use the Baldur Giant Slayer to make ourselves even larger and give ourselves even more temporary health. So we got a massive giant form. Yeah, we become pretty huge. It's hilarious. I love this mod. And yeah, we'll just get into a fight right now. If you're a Durgar, you can also get even larger, so that's a funny option. But we'll just go in and we'll just attack here for upwards of 49 damage. Luck of the Far Realms, bonk. 45 damage there. And we got 4 attacks per turn, which is crazy. And we can invoke the Fire Rune here, which will deal fire damage whenever we do our attacks. And that flame shackled them there, so perfect. We unfortunately, a weird thing with starting combat is we don't get our extra attacks, so you can see there, we're using our action here, invoking the Fire Rune. We took them out, but yeah, we're pretty strong. I'll even just backpedal here to take out some of these. Being this large is hilarious, and that's exactly what the Rune Knight's all about. So critical hits, that's our bread and butter. We also have the charge attack too, which is nice so that we can close distances. You can see there, just literally shredding through people. We don't have enough. Oh, we do have just enough. Yeah, 47 damage. That's crazy. If we didn't use our bonus action, we have the bonus action attack there. And yeah, you can see the runes are pretty strong. So we'll just end our turn there because that was quite a bit, and just let them unfold. And you can see here we can use our runic shield here to apply a reaction to save our teammates, which is really nice to get the little bubble of shield there. So that's really nice too, and our team's just getting ripped apart by the volleys. Well, we have over 300 health, so we're not really worried too much when it comes to the combat. But yeah, that's a nice thing about taking the tough perk, or the tough feat, is you get all that extra health, which just makes a huge difference. So I enjoy doing that just for the survivability on a build like this, especially because the fighter gets a lot of health anyways. You could even run like something like the ballast armor and go with a piercing weapon, because the lower armor class will actually attract more attacks to you, as the AI will typically target those with lower AI, which is why it's targeting them and not me, because our armor class is so high. But if you have like a lone, there's a perk that gives you like an increase to your abilities if you're playing solo, the lone wolf mod, which is similar to the feat that's in Divinity Original Sin 2. You could also go with that. Now we have a lot of extra movement speed, which is nice. We can start off with a charger attack here just to close the gap. I like to just get in front of whoever's closest and just start bonking. As you can see, 46 plus 6 plus 6 damage, pretty good. And then we'll go on to our next target, 98% hit chance. Yeah, we're just ripping things apart here. And we also get a bonus action attack too, so we can use the bonus action attack. We're literally just shredding everyone down. The unfortunate part is if I go any closer, the mother brain will bother me, so we can just go with a few ranged attacks here, and that'll be that for our turn, and hope that we can pull them towards us there. So it's another enemy down. Pretty crazy. We don't have as much effectiveness on bow attacks, but we do have 4 attacks per bonus action, so you can get really lucky, as you can see there. I could use I guess I could use action surge, but that gets into a slippery slope. I guess we'll use that because I can't really target them, but we'll use action surge. If I didn't have the Illithid ability, we could use the mind blast, which would have been nice, but since oh yeah, we might not actually be able to hit them. We'll see if I can get into range. That might have been a useless. Oh, we can hit them with the bow. Perfect. Because mind blast would have been able to hit them likely, so that would have been a nice ability, but we'll just go with the bow attacks from behind. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. That took them out. Giant, we are huge. So yeah, it's pretty funny. You can make yourself quite large. So yeah, with that's the largest you can get. I even tried using the cheaters and large to make ourselves even larger. But this is us compared to Minsk. We're much larger than the rest of our team. And that's what makes the Rune Knight so fun. Also, didn't even get on to talking about this, but you can also go and grapple and shove people pretty easily. So if you wanted to throw like your team around, you can do that too. You can throw them into the fight, or you can throw enemies at each other. Sorry, Minsk, just had to demonstrate that, but that's one of the best benefits of the Rune Knight is you get that extra large size too. So let me know your favorite thing about the Rune Knights. Shout out to the Sumradagnoth for making this awesome mod. And yeah, have yourself a great day. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.